Welcome to Seen and Noted podcast, where marketing insights, brand thinking, and cultural signals are unpacked for the people shaping brands every day. If it's shaping culture or shifting markets, we're paying attention. So let's get into it.
Business-to-business branding doesn't get talked about enough. Everyone's focused on the flashy consumer stuff, the campaigns, the drops, the viral moments. But quietly, in boardrooms and pitch decks and email threads, businesses are trying to convince other businesses to trust them, to pick them, to stick with them. And a lot of them are getting it wrong in the exact same ways. Today, we're going to talk about 7 common mistakes B2B branding make from Raincastle, a branding agency that has seen this movie too many times. Let's go. Number 1, leading with your mission instead of your positioning. A lot of companies go to market saying something like, "We want to be the leading provider of X by this year." And look, that's a great internal goal, but your customer heard that and immediately thought, okay, but what does that do for me? That's the trap. A mission statement looks inward. It's about the company's goals. Brand positioning looks outward. It's about why the person on the other side of the table should care. There are actually 3 things that get mixed up constantly. Vision is where you're going. Mission keeps the team aligned. Positioning is why someone should choose you over everyone else. That last one, that's where the brand lives. That's what your audience needs to feel. If you're leading with your mission, you've already lost the room. Number 2, leading with features instead of customer needs. This one is especially easy to fall into if you're in tech or anything remotely technical. We have 12 integrations. Our platform does XYZ. Cool, so does your competitor. And in 6 months, they'll have the same ones you just launched. Features get copied. Feelings don't. Think about the brands people actually love. Apple, Nike, even something like Spotify. Nobody's out here raving about the compression algorithm. They're talking about how the product makes them feel capable, creative, ahead of things. B2B buyers are professionals, yes, but they're also people. They make emotional decisions and dress them up in logic afterward, just like the rest of us. So instead of leading with what your product does, lead with what your customer is going through. What's the frustration? What's the thing that would make their day easier, their work better, their life less stressful? Speak to that first. The features can follow. Number 3, launching a rebrand without bringing your internal team along. Here's a scenario that happens more than it should. A brand goes through a whole rebrand, months of work, new look, new messaging, new positioning, and then it launches publicly before the internal team has been properly brought along. The people answering client calls, writing proposals, showing up at events, they find out about the new brand the same time everyone else does, sometimes after. And that's where things fall apart quietly. Because whether you're a consumer brand or an agency, your people are the brand in motion. Every conversation, every pitch, every follow-up email, that's the brand showing up in real life. If the team doesn't believe in it, or worse, doesn't even understand it, the external work doesn't land the way it should. Bring people in early. Explain the thinking. Give them something to rally around. Because a brand that lives only on the website isn't really alive yet. Number 4, playing it safe and looking like everyone else. Most B2B brands look and sound exactly the same. Same safe colors, same stock imagery, same headline that says something like "Innovative Solutions for Modern Businesses." Nobody remembers that. Nobody shares it. Nobody feels anything about it. And here's the thing. Whether you're selling to a procurement manager or pitching a rebrand to a client, the goal is the same. You need to occupy a specific corner of someone's mind, something they associate with you and only you. Raincastle built a brand for an architecture firm around the idea of inspiring transformation, 2 words that worked on multiple levels, emotional and rational at the same time. That's the goal, something with a bit of texture to it, something that makes people feel something and also makes complete sense. B2B audiences are not robots. They respond to great ideas the same way everyone else does. Stop designing for robots. Nobody remembers safe. Number 5, building the brand based only on internal input. This one stings a little, but it's important. A lot of brands go into a rebrand with only internal input, leadership's perspective, sales team's assumptions, what everyone thinks the customer wants. And they end up with a brand that sounds great in the boardroom and falls flat in the real world. Your customers hold something valuable, the actual language, the way they describe their own problems, the words they use, the things that genuinely frustrate them. That's often where the most powerful brand ideas come from. And sometimes an outside perspective is what unlocks it. Someone who can ask uncomfortable questions without worrying about politics. Someone who can say, explain to me in 30 seconds why I should choose you, and actually sit with the awkward silence. That silence, that's where the brand work lives. Number 6, being inconsistent across different brand touchpoints. Picture this. You meet a company at an event, their pitch sounds one way, you pick up their brochure, which has a slightly different feel, you check their website, another vibe entirely, you find them on social media, feels like a completely different company. That disconnect is more common than it should be. And it happens for understandable reasons. Teams working in silos, old materials that never got updated, a new hire who didn't get the full brief. But here's the thing. Every time your brand sounds or looks different somewhere, it costs you a little trust. And trust is exactly what B2B brands are built on. The message doesn't have to be identical everywhere, but the feeling should be, the tone, the personality, the core idea, consistent whether someone finds you through a Google search or walks past your stand at a conference. Number 7, treating the rebrand as the finish line. This might be the one that catches most people off guard. The rebrand is done, the new look is live, the team celebrated, and then it just sits there waiting to be discovered. That's not how it works. Here's a useful way to think about it. The moment you're tired of saying the same thing is usually the moment your audience is just starting to hear it. What feels repetitive from the inside just starts to feel familiar from the outside, and familiarity is what builds trust over time. IBM did this with their cognitive business campaign. They went everywhere at once: print, digital, social, TV, all saying the same thing consistently until it stuck. You don't need that kind of budget, but you do need a real plan, channels, consistency, follow through over time. Because a brand that nobody hears isn't really a brand yet. It's just a very nice design project sitting in a folder somewhere. A rebrand is not the finish line. It's the starting point. Now, we've spoken about the 7 mistakes B2B brands make, and honestly, most brands at some point have made at least a few of them. The common thread running through all of them is this: brand is not about you. It's not your goals, your features, or your logo. It's what the person on the other side feels when they think of you. What makes them bring your name up in a conversation? What makes them choose you when they have 10 other options? Get that right. Say it clearly, say it consistently, say it everywhere. And the brand starts doing the heavy lifting for you.
If this episode gave you something to think about, share it with someone in your circle. See you on the next one.